There are seasons when your life stops looking like the life you prayed for, planned for, and quietly believed God had promised you. The door closed. The relationship changed. The opportunity disappeared, and suddenly the road ahead feels like it belongs to somebody else. You are still functioning, still answering people, still doing what must be done, but inside you keep asking one exhausted question. God, if you are leading me, why do I feel this lost? Maybe you thought obedience would make the path clearer, but you obeyed and the fog became thicker instead of lifting. Maybe everybody around you appears to be moving forward while your prayers seem to return unopened and your calendar keeps collecting delays. And when delay lasts long enough, confusion becomes accusation. Perhaps God forgot me. Perhaps I missed him. Perhaps I ruined everything. Listen to me carefully. Being unable to see the road is not the same as being abandoned on it. You can be lost to yourself and still be completely known to God, because his sight is not limited by your weather. He does not need your 5-year plan to locate you. And he does not panic when the route changes without your permission. The shepherd knows the wilderness, the night, the distance, and every turn you cannot yet understand. Your uncertainty describes what you can see. It does not describe what he knows. So when the next mile is hidden, do not invent abandonment. Let his knowledge become the ground beneath the step you can take today. Jeremiah did not send his famous words to comfortable people celebrating a promotion, a graduation, or the beginning of an easy chapter. He wrote to exiles whose city had burned, whose temple lay broken, and whose future had been carried into Babylon. They did not merely feel misplaced. They had lost the places, rhythms, and certainties that once told them who they were. And into that real grief, God spoke a promise strong enough to survive a lifetime of waiting. For I know the thoughts that I think toward you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. Notice the first comfort is not that they understand the plan. The first comfort is that God knows it. Their map was gone, but his mind was not empty. Their future looked scattered, but his purpose had not scattered with it. The promise begins with his knowledge, because peace starts when you stop demanding that your limited view become the measure of his faithfulness. But the promise did not cancel the 70 years. And this is where shallow preaching often becomes cruel to hurting people. We quote a hopeful ending while hiding the long middle, then make people feel faithless when their answer does not arrive by Friday. No, God is not a slogan. Faith is not denial. And hope is not pretending that 70 years feels like 7 minutes. Biblical hope can look directly at a long night and still refuse to call the darkness final. Waiting is not proof that God has stopped working. Sometimes waiting is the room where His deepest work cannot be rushed. A seed beneath the ground looks buried before it looks planted. And both descriptions can feel true until life breaks through. You keep asking Him to reveal the destination while He is forming the character required to survive arriving there. Do not insult the hidden season simply because it has not introduced you to its fruit yet. The false prophets told the exiles what frightened hearts always want to hear. This will be quick, painless, and exactly as you imagined. They offered relief without truth, comfort without endurance, and a promise designed to protect people from reality rather than prepare them for faithfulness. That is not compassion. A lie that makes you feel better for an hour can leave your soul weaker for a decade. God loved them enough to tell them the truth. The season would be long, but the season would not own the end. A mature faith does not need a false deadline. It needs a faithful God whose word remains standing after every convenient promise has fallen. Some of your pain is grief, but some of it is control. Mourning the future, it believed it was entitled to manage. You did not only want God to lead, you wanted Him to approve your route, honor your timing, and call your definition of good holy. And when He refused to become the assistant to your plan, you wondered whether He had stopped being God. But surrender is not losing your future. Surrender is releasing your demand to be its author. You are reading one page and judging the author as if the page were the whole story. You see the detour. He sees the formation, the protection, the people you have not met, and the doors mercy kept closed. This does not make every loss easy or every delay pleasant, but it keeps pain from becoming your final interpreter of God. You do not need to understand every turn to know the character of the one holding the road. When God says His thoughts are thoughts of peace, He is not promising that every circumstance will become comfortable on command. The word carries shalom, wholeness, restoration, life brought back under the good order of God. Peace is not always the removal of the storm. Sometimes peace is discovering the storm cannot remove Him from you. The future He gives is not merely a better schedule. It is a life increasingly held together by His presence. If you want to know whether God's heart can be trusted in a chapter that looks evil, look at the cross. On Friday, every visible fact announced defeat. Jesus was condemned, the disciples scattered, the stone closed, and hope went silent. But God was not absent in the silence. He was turning the place of death into the doorway of life. The resurrection is heaven's declaration that the darkest middle does not have authority to write the final sentence. So no, I will not tell you that your loss was small, your waiting is easy, or tomorrow will explain everything. I will tell you something stronger. God has not misplaced your name, abandoned His character, or surrendered your story to chaos. You may not know what He is doing, but you can know what He is like. And that knowledge is enough for the next step. Your plan can collapse without your life becoming meaningless, because His purpose was never resting on your ability to predict it. Breathe again. The same God who holds the ending is present in this unfinished sentence. And He is not asking you to finish it alone. God told the exiles to build houses, plant gardens, raise families, and seek the peace of the city where they were waiting. In other words, do not postpone obedience until your circumstances finally look worthy of your participation. Make the call. Keep the promise. Do the honest work. Pray again. Rest when you need rest. And love the people already near you. Faithfulness is not waiting beside your life for God's plan to begin. Faithfulness is meeting Him inside the day He has actually given. Today, stop asking God to show you the whole map before you offer Him one obedient step. Tell Him the truth. Father, I do not understand this road, but I refuse to confuse mystery with abandonment. Give him the future you cannot control. Receive the peace He offers you today, and walk with the God who already sees the expected end. If this word met you in a lost season, subscribe and return next Sunday for another living verse that speaks to real life.